Hello students and welcome to my channel. Today I will be covering the topic symmetry in crystals. This is a very important topic under crystal structure in solid state physics for both BSc and MSc students. And yes, I want you to know that I will be uploading the lectures for all the topics of BSc and MSc physics, and I will try to do it as soon as possible. So if you want to study the whole course with me, then please subscribe to channel, and in the end of every video I will be telling you the questions related to these topics which are important from your examination point of view. So watch the videos till the end. So let's start with today's lecture. Symmetry in crystals. As we have discussed in previous videos, that is an inherent property of crystals. Crystals are symmetric in nature, they have long range order. So today we will talk about how many symmetry operations are possible in crystals. So there are four basic type of symmetry operations that are possible. That is translational symmetry, rotational symmetry, reflection symmetry, and inversion symmetry. So one by one we will cover all the topics. First of all, translational symmetry. In my previous video, I have made a detailed video about lattice translation of vectors, and the knowledge of lattice translation of vectors is important for you to understand translational symmetry. So please, those who don't know about lattice translation of vectors, go to my previous video. I will share the link also here. So basically, translational operation means that I am moving from one point to another, or rather I should say one lattice point to another lattice point in a lattice. So if I have a two-dimensional lattice here, then this is the origin, and I move from this point to this point, or I translate from A to B lattice point, then the lattice remains invariant. Because of the symmetry in the crystals, the surrounding of all the atoms is similar. So I can say that if I apply lattice translational operation on a lattice point, then it carries the lattice into itself, or I can say that the lattice remains invariant. And the operation, that is the translational operation, is given by translational vector, which is known as n1a1 plus n2a2 plus n3a3. I explained very thoroughly about the lattice translational vectors, so please go and check the video if you don't know about it, where a1, a2 and a3 are fundamental translational vectors, and n1, n2 and n3 are integers. So this is translational symmetry. Now we come to rotational symmetry, which is in itself a very vast and important topic. We will be discussing it in very much detail later. So rotational symmetry is if I rotate the lattice about an axis that passes through a lattice point, any lattice point, then the lattice remains invariant. So there are many rotations possible, but generally if I want to define what is rotational symmetry, then it is that if I rotate the lattice through about an axis which passes through any lattice point, then the lattice remains invariant. Now the third symmetry is reflection symmetry. We will discuss this in detail later. So in reflection symmetry, if I have a two-dimensional lattice and I construct a plane through any lattice point, then that plane divides the lattice into two parts which are exact mirror images of each other. So this means that if I draw a plane, then the two parts are mirror images of each other, then the lattice is said to have a reflection symmetry. The fourth type of symmetry operation is inversion symmetry, which is a compound operation. That means it consists of two operations, which is rotational symmetry and reflection symmetry. First, rotational symmetry at an angle pi, by an angle pi. So if we rotate the lattice at an angle pi and then we reflect the lattice, then we see the mirror reflection of the lattice, then the whole operation is inversion symmetry or inversion operation. So to understand this, if we consider a three-dimensional lattice, then if I have an atom at this point and I have another atom at a distance r from this point, then I also have another atom which is at a distance minus r from this point. That if this is true, then the lattice is said to have inversion symmetry. So basically, if I rotate the lattice or rotate the lattice point about an angle pi, and I see the mirror reflection, that is minus r, then the lattice is said to have inversion symmetry. So these were 4 kinds of symmetry operations. The first symmetry operation, that is lattice translational symmetry, I have covered in very detail in the previous video. So now we come to rotational symmetry. So rotational symmetry, to understand rotational symmetry, we should know what is n-fold symmetry in structures. So I will explain in detail what is n-fold symmetry, and then we come to rotational symmetry in lattice. So n-fold symmetry is basically how many times or n times should I rotate the structure so that it comes to its original structure. So for example, if I take the example of a square, in 2 dimensions I can easily explain you the square. So if I have a square and these are the symmetry axes, so if I rotate the square at an angle 90 degree, so A comes here and B comes here, C goes there and D goes there. So the square looks like a square only. So the square is invariant. So if I rotate it 4 times by an angle 90 degree, then it will come to its original position. So the square is said to have 4-fold symmetry. This is a general expression of n-fold symmetry. If I want to know the value of n, then how many times should I rotate with the angle theta so that I am come back to my original position. So n into theta is equals to 2 pi. So in this case, in the case of a square, theta is 90 degrees. So n into pi by 2 is equals to 2 pi. So n comes out to be 4. Then the square is said to have 4-fold symmetry. And now if I take the example of a hexagon, then the hexagon has 6 sides. So if I draw the symmetry lines, then to reach from A to B, I have to go through an angle 60 degree. So n into 60 degree will give me the complete rotation. So n into 60 degree is 360 degrees. So n becomes 6. So the hexagon is said to have 6-fold symmetry. Similarly, you can try for yourself for an equilateral triangle, for an isosceles triangle, and various other structures that are possible. So you should know what is an n-fold symmetry, what is an n-fold symmetry, and what do we mean by n in the n-fold symmetry. So n means how many times or n number of times I have to rotate the structure so that it comes back to its original position. So what are the possible rotational symmetries in a lattice? There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 possible rotational symmetries in a lattice. One-fold symmetry, which means rotation by 2 pi radians. Two-fold symmetry, which means rotation by 2 pi by 2 radians. Three-fold symmetry, which means rotation by 2 pi by 3 radians. Four-fold symmetry, which means rotation by 2 pi by 4 radians. And six-fold symmetry, which means rotation by 2 pi by 6 radians. Looking at this, you should note that 2 pi by 5 and 2 pi by 7 rotations, that means 5-fold symmetry and 7-fold symmetry, is not possible in a lattice. This is very important from your examination point of view and for your knowledge. Why are these rotations not possible? I will cover in the next lecture. So hit the bell icon so you don't miss the video. And also, all these symmetry operations that I discussed in this particular video are collectively called as lattice point group, because all these are point operations, that is, they are applied at a lattice point which carries the lattice into itself. So lattice point group is basically the name given to collectively to all the symmetry operations. Now there is one more connected important topic, which is symmetry planes and symmetry axis in a cube. So in a cube, there are two symmetry planes. One is the parallel plane, which is parallel to the faces of the cube, and another one is the diagonal plane. As you can see that the parallel plane equally divides the cube into two halves. So this is a plane of symmetry, and the diagonal plane also divides the cube into two halves, which is also a plane of symmetry. Now we come to the axis. So we have three basically types of axes which are the symmetry axis of a cube. So first type is tetrad axis. There are three tetrad axes, which basically join the midpoints of all the faces of the cube. As there are 6 faces of a cube, then there will be 3 tetrad axes. Now, second one is triad axis. There are 4 triad axes of a cube which connects the corners of a cube. So there are 8 corners. So there are 4 axes which divides one axis, connects 2 corners which are diagonally opposite to each other. Now, last one are dyad axes. There are 6 dyad axes which actually connect the midpoint of the edges. So all the midpoints of all the edges, which are 12 in number, are connected by 6 dyad axes. So there are 3 types of symmetry axes and there are 2 types of symmetry planes in a cube. So this is also an important question from your examination point of view. So now we come to the last section of the video, which is the important questions related to symmetry in crystals. So the first question is, what are the different symmetry operations in a lattice? So there are 4 important symmetry operations in a lattice: translational symmetry operations, rotation symmetry, reflection symmetry, and inversion symmetry, and explain them in detail. Second question is, what is a lattice translational vector? Explain lattice translational symmetry. So lattice translational vector I explained in thorough detail in the previous video, and explained lattice translational symmetry, which was the starting point of this video. Third question is, what is n-fold symmetry and how many rotational symmetries are possible in a lattice? Okay. Fourth question is, what are lattice point groups? So all the symmetry operations are collectively called as lattice point groups. And another important question is, draw and explain the symmetry planes of a symmetry axis of a cube. And the last question, why 5-fold and 7-fold symmetry is not possible in a lattice? So for this question, I will be making another video and I will upload it as soon as possible. So hit the bell icon so that you don't miss the video, and subscribe the channel. I will be uploading all the topics of BSc and MSc physics. Right now I am uploading the lectures of solid state physics. And if you have any question, please comment down below. I will answer all your questions. Thank you.